So going back to the Worlds then, okay. Talk a bit about like the experience of competing at the Worlds, the nerves and things like that. Do you feel nerves? Does it? Like, how much do you care about it? Because sometimes, like jiu-jitsu, even at that high level, it's still seen as like a hobby. Do you know what I mean? It's not like your job or anything like that. So
it's a lot of pressure I put on myself, which I put on myself setting the business up. It needs to be successful. So people say, "Were you surprised when you won the Worlds?" No, not really. That's what I went to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't go there thinking, I'll see how I get on. You know, I'd fight to the death I can remember fighting with some bloke who's super heavyweight and I'm trying to lift him off the ground because I need to win. I'm down on 2 points. I can't get out of here. I've got, whatever it takes. I need to win this. And I actually, at the Worlds, I lost in the final of the Absolute to some Russian guy that was super heavyweight.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd even gone through. I'd beat the guy who'd won the heavyweight, the medium heavy, yeah, and I'd got through to the guy who'd won the super heavy. He was just
too much.
Lost the points, too big.
Yeah. That was what your limit was then. You could beat everyone else above you, but super heavy was the limit.
Super heavy was too much. No,
So were you nervous before then?
Yeah.
So obviously, like I said, you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
I was struggling sleep, the night before. Yeah. Every scenario is going through your head. But if he does this, you've got to do that. Why am I even thinking that? You're just going to do. Jiu-jitsu is, I don't get on the mat in here and think I'm going to do this to Liam. It's installed in you. So just get on the mat and just do it. Yeah. But it's easy enough to say to someone, don't worry about this, don't worry about, you just who you are, aren't you? You're gonna.
But you have an A game, right? So you're going into your matches and you've got your A game of like, do you want to pull guard or take down? What submissions you want to go for? I think sometimes that's where there's a lot of pressure as well, because you want to stick to that, and it's if you come off of that, can you get back to it? I always find like in the matches as well, there's quite a lot of pressure because that's what you're both jostling for, is to do your game plans. Yeah.
And obviously you both can't have your game plan.
And that's the thing, isn't it?
You're losing your game plan on.
Yeah.
But I tend to work a game that if I actually get reversed in that game, I'm probably in a better position anyway. So I will always choose to work a bottom half guard game, and if it get reversed and I get put on the top, I'm in a better position anyway.
No, I get you. I'm the same.
Yeah, so I'll spend all that time getting that game where I was rubbish on the bottom. Yeah. So now that's where I'll opt to go, and then if I get a sweep, I'm ending up on the top, which is the game's easy from there on, isn't it? But I suppose I think there'd be something wrong with you if you said there was no nerves, wouldn't there?
Yeah, I can remember having one experience. I think it was an MMA fight actually, where I didn't feel nerves for some reason. Like I was just really relaxed, and then I got nervous because I didn't. Why am I weird?
Something's wrong with you.
What's wrong with me? Something's not right. So I was nervous because I wasn't nervous. So I think it's just one of those things. Like you look around the room and your head's always telling you like, oh well, he doesn't look nervous. He looks really focused or confident.
I actually put myself in a position where I think nobody could have done any better than me. Nobody's doing this. I tend to, when I start to get on the path to a big comp, I'll start rowing 3 times a week. And the difference that does for me, I'm trying to beat my score every day. Yeah. So every day right up to the end. And my cardio is just through the roof. So I'm never stopped because I'm drained or my cardio's gone. After all them matches, 7 matches at the Worlds or whatever, I could have another one. Do you know? So it was never, I've got to try and contain, keep a bit back for the end or, and that what I still monitor my fitness on now. Yeah. I come back the other day, I'd been in Greece for a few days drinking and eating, and I was going to go to Kev's on the Wednesday night. So Wednesday day I went to the gym and just got on the round and thought, as long as I can do this in under 8 minutes, I'll be able to breathe all right. I'm not trying to hit it in what I want to hit it in 7 minutes, but it's...
Is that for the 10...
2,000 metres.
Yeah, that was at 2,000
because I think it replicates quite well. It should be like about 7 minutes, say. Yeah. So really, it's longer than the matches. Yeah. So really, I can't stop for 7 minutes. And then when I want to hit the best scores, I'm under pressure and trying to, the most powerful pull, the best I can put into it, every single thing I can put into it for 7 minutes. Well, you're never going to do that in a grappling match, because there'll be a point where you're here, you can have a breather, you can have a breather there, you can have a breathe. You know, I feel that it's a good...
What's your fastest time?
About 7 minutes.
Yeah, I used to do them as well, you know. Yeah. I got under
6:58. You had it, yeah.
Yeah, I got. Yeah. I think I beat that as well. I think I got to about 6:56 at one point.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it, when you get down there?
Mate, it's fucking dirty. It's horrible.
Do you know when people say in the gym, "I hate this machine"? You hate that machine because it's hard. You don't hate that machine because it's nice. You know, everyone says to me, "I fucking hate rowing."
I've not done any rowing for years now, though, because when I had just before my meniscus surgery, I went on the row machine. This was during COVID. I borrowed a row machine off a CrossFit gym, and I pushed my foot down hard. My knee popped, and that was the beginning of the end of my knee, basically. I've not been on one since. But I do circuits at home, and I do monitor them. So I know when I'm fit and when I'm not. Like if I'm blasting a certain score on my circuits, then I know.
I do what probably interesting for people to see is this. I got to a point where my knees were aching all the time. I'd lie in bed at night, my knees are aching. And I had a look at it, and I've seen some research, this knees over toes thing. There's loads of things about it, aren't they? But I just went in the gym, put the running machine on 5 incline and 5 kilometres an hour. 2.5 minutes forward, turn around, 2.5 minutes backwards. I can feel it's aching across here and it's aching down here, yeah? And I do it, and then it's obviously building the muscle where it needs to support your knee. So I got to a point of doing that 2 or 3 times a week. That's it. My knees have been... I never ever feel anything in my knee whatsoever. So I do tend to, even as I'm dropping off it, I went back in the other day, I'll go back in, I'll do that. Then I'll do, say, a bench press, then I'll do the rower. And then finish off with a couple of other bits. But every time I'm in, I tend to do that for my knees, and I do the rowing for a test on my cardio. But
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. If you want to hear more from the BMA podcast, follow us on Spotify for full audios. You can find clip videos on the Bermuda Martial Arts YouTube channel, and finally search at Bermuda Martial Arts on Instagram for even more content. Feel free to comment opinions on the podcast and anyone you would like to see featured. Thanks for supporting.